Good morning on this beautiful winter's morning. And good morning to everyone at home who will be watching this. I'm amazed at how many people trekked here to the church today. And you know, my yoga teacher used to say, I forget what it was with regard to, but he said, it separates the wheat from the chaff. And, you know, in life, I think we play a little small sometimes, and more importantly, we need to look at the stuff that's going through our minds. And I hope I brought some of I connected with a fellow, sorry here, I didn't organize my papers. And then I need my glasses too. What did I do with those? Hang on one second here. We will find, I hope I brought it. Oh, here it is. Let me find my glasses. 1 second. Sitting up nice and tall wherever you're sitting, in fact. Okay. I was chatting to a fellow who I met at the Scarborough Missions years ago. He actually created the poster that I have on the wall in the back, which illuminates all the different cultures' ideas on, you know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What you do to the earth, you do to yourself, et cetera, okay? So his name's Paul McKenna. He sent me about 500 quotes in different categories. I don't know how he put it all together online. But I think one of them that I want to share with you right now is from an Indian spiritual teacher by the name of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj. And this speaks to what I mentioned in my email, which is I think I can help us all turn off the noise, turn off the disturbances. There's more than ever, it seems, today. We aren't going to change a lot of this. In fact, Birgit shared a Rumi quote that was, yesterday I was clever and I thought I could change the world. Today I am wise to change myself. Something to that effect. Today I'm wise and I'm changing myself. But how do you do that? That's not easy. It's not a switch on the dial. But here's what this Indian spiritual teacher said, and this says a lot. And I know a lot of you have a practice. You have a meditation practice. So you're going to know. And those of you who don't, I do want to inspire you to consider it. Just consider it. And it's a practice. If you don't do it, you won't even know the benefits. You won't know the joy. You won't know the peace. You won't know how you can rise above whatever it is that's taking you down. That's not what life is for. So he says, a quiet mind is all you need. All else will happen rightly once your mind is quiet. As the sun on rising makes the world active, so does self-awareness affect changes in the mind. In the light of calm and steady awareness, inner energies wake up and work miracles without effort on your part. A quiet mind is all you need. So how are you going to get that quiet mind? You can close your eyes. You can focus on your breath. You can watch your thoughts, but eventually, I liken it to a little kid who's squawking about something, and you distract that little kid with a toy, with a game, with something. All of a sudden, the kid stops squawking. So the idea that I'm really getting a sense of is that we need to distract our thinking minds, but not with Netflix, not with shopping, or not with whatever it is. Just shut it down. It's a mini vacation. If you practice this, and I'm really speaking to people who have worry, who have fear, who have anxiety, who can't sleep at night, they have stomach upsets, they got IBS, they got this, that, and the other thing. I mean, yeah, our diets matter. Yes, they do. But I think as per all these people, in fact, this one I'm going to say, and then we'll get started here. But this is His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Our inner lives are something we ignore at our own peril. And many of the greatest problems we face in today's world are the result of such neglect. Our inner lives are something we ignore at our own peril. And many of the greatest problems we face in today's world are the result of such neglect. To me, he is living proof of somebody who can override the problems in the world. He had to leave his own country. He's watching his culture be decimated. And many of you perhaps have been in his company, an audience when he was here in Toronto, or you've seen him online, or whatever. I've been fortunate enough. This man is the perfect example of the guy, of the person, of the human who has quieted his mind and rises above. So, any of his books will inspire. And yoga is a practice that we do to take care of this physical body that we only embody while we're alive. What energizes this body is eternal, forever, all other subjects. But meanwhile, taking care of the body will allow us to not let it be one of the distractions from finding the quiet, the peace, and dare I say, there's a whole lot of wisdom. There is nothing outside of us that doesn't exist inside of us. It's a holographic universe. We're searching madly, wildly for everything outside of us to find happiness, to find peace, to find fulfillment, to find contentment. It's an inside job. So I did ask people at home to have a firm chair nearby, but we are going to start to work out. And then if we do find time, I just want to spend some time reminding us about how to sit, whether it's a chair, whether it's a cushion. I'm actually sitting in a Japanese position called Seiza. I have a portable bench. There are, for those people who don't want to sit cross-legged, you have choices, you have options. What we shouldn't have are excuses. If not now, when? Okay, so we're going to start with standing, and I want to go through a few wrist exercises because mobility and elasticity responds to wrist exercises. And besides that, we put a load on our wrists in yoga, in downward dog and other certain things. And our electronic devices and carpal tunnel syndrome is real from repetitive movement. So I'm just going to show you a few things. Bless you. So if you're coming up to a standing position, remember, keep your knees soft and bent. Let your upper body hang just for a moment. And then slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. And then bring your shoulders up to your ears, roll them back and down. Okay, you're going to interlock your fingers and you're going to make a fist. Interlock your fingers and make a fist. And then you're going to make circle eights. So it's really just your wrist. This is warming things up. You know, I could almost blame this little lapis lazuli bracelet that I got for Christmas, which is supposed to induce wisdom and blah, 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 blah. But I haven't taken it off. Maybe twice for 2 seconds, like literally. I haven't taken it off, and it may be having an effect. I don't know. But, okay, so you've done that one. This is good. This is a good little warm up. The next one we're going to do are prayer hands. So bring your palms together, press your palms in, try to relax your shoulders and not have them move. All right, so with the fingers pointing up, we're going to bring the hands down. Fingers pointing up, hands come down. Bring your hands down. Yeah. Okay? Keep your elbows as wide as you can and bring them back up and down and up and down. You probably feel this in your shoulders and upper back. Try to relax them regardless. One more, down. Now you're going to keep your hands the way they are, but you're going to point the fingers down. Point your fingers down towards your feet. Okay? And bring your arms up. But again, try to relax your shoulders. Try to keep this isolated. Just your hands. Keep your palms squeezed together. I mean, the shoveling that we're doing, the scraping, and I know there's one person coming this evening who fell down and sprained her wrist. So, you know, the looser and the more stretched the connective tissue is in the joints, the more we're protecting it and strengthening it. Okay, so we're going to warm up the fingers. Arms are out at shoulder height, and you're just spring open, fist. And then point the fingers up and fist. Up, fist, up, fist, up, fist, up, fist, down, fist, down, fist, down, fist. And then jazz fingers. That's for Glenn. He's going to practice later, right? Okay. All right, we're going to come down onto all fours. And please practice this really mindfully. So on all fours, your hands are flat on the floor under your shoulders. Spread your fingers apart. Okay? And then lean backwards, come forwards. Backwards and forwards. Try not to sink into your hands or wrists. Keep your core active, your shoulder blades and arms to reduce the load on your wrists. Okay, same position, but now we're just going to make shoulders. So we're rotating, obviously at the knees and the core, but we're working the wrist joints. Make one more circle in the direction you're going. Coming back to the top, change the direction. Actually, I should turn towards the camera, I'm just thinking. Okay, now take your hands out to the side. Again, please be mindful. So you're pointing the fingers outside. Your thumbs are pointing mostly forward. Fingers are pointing outside. And just going to do a little bit of slow rocking side to side. Make sure you're not creating pain, but you know, we don't put our hands in, well, we probably do put them in lots of positions, but we're not thinking about it. But yoga, of course, helps us do things that we wouldn't normally do in a day. Okay, now, be mindful. This might be too much. can you turn your fingers towards your knees? Fingers towards your knees, palms flat on the floor. So you bring your knees a little bit closer. This might be too much. Be mindful. Breathe into it. So again, we're going a little bit forwards and backwards. Little bit, little bit, little bit. Okay, and let's just come back for a moment and give it a little shake out. It's pretty intense. Obviously, if you have any shoulder or wrist injuries, you're going to be very, very careful, but this is hopefully avoiding. Are we getting too hot? No, not yet. Okay. Okay, so now you're coming on top of the backs of your hands on the floor. I have a lovely mess here. Oh, okay. So you're coming onto the backs of your hands and your wrists are bent. Okay, so your elbows won't be totally straight now. You're going to curl your fingers in. You're going to come up onto your knuckles, stretching out the wrists. Then you're going to go back down and open the fingers. Well, maybe I turn sideways here. So you're on the back of your hands. You're drawing your fingertips in to make a fist. You're coming up onto your knuckles. This straightens your wrist. And by the way, so have a look at my wrists. They're completely straight. This is the position you want mostly for when you're on a computer. And by the way, a good time to talk about a computer. If you're using a laptop without a keyboard and a mouse, it's not as good for your wrists as it is to have a keyboard and a mouse, right? You know what I'm talking about? A lot of kids today, they don't have the mouse, they don't have the keyboard. Okay, let's come down onto the back of the wrist once again. And then fold your fingers in, come up onto your knuckles, and that will do. Give it a good shake out. And curl your toes under. Have your feet solid on the floor. Let your head hang. Keep your knees bent. Slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. Shoulders up to your ears. Exhale and roll them back. Interlock. This is the last one. We're just going to do a gentle stretch. So interlock your fingers. Turn the palms away from you. Stretch out and in, out, in, out, and in, and out. And then change the interlock. So just move it one finger, okay? And let's do that again. Lovely. Shake it all out. So you should feel a little more energy in the wrist area, right? We brought lots of blood supply into that area. And remember, if you hold something longer, when it comes to joints, activating the joints, when you hold it longer, you get into the connective tissue. That's the really hard, steely stuff, but you have to relax your muscles. Otherwise, the muscles are doing some of the work that the connective tissue could have done. And I will be continually speaking about this connective tissue idea or fascia. My masseur seems to think they're interchangeable, but I'm going to use the word connective tissue. So let's come up to the front of our mats for full sun salutations. Starting at the front of your mats. Inhaling in place, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart, reach up, look up, and arc back. But keep the length. Inhale, bring your feet back towards one another. Lift out of your waist. You're hinging from your hips. Really important. Exhale, we're going to be doing some hip work today. Let your head hang. Give it a little swing so you know you're not holding on to it. Step your left leg back, drop the knee to the mat. Bring your hands onto your front right knee. Focus your gaze in front of you and lift up. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Now press into that back heel. Keep your eyes focused on the floor in front of you. Nice. And breathe. Shoulders down. Hands are active. Turn your hands forward. Bring them to the floor. Full push-up plank position. Press through your heels. Press all 10 fingers into the mat. If that's too much for your wrists and shoulders, lower your knees and cross your feet at the ankles. If you're able to hold in plank, press the heels back. All 10 fingers pressing into the floor and the heel of your hand. Draw your bellies in, engage your core. Feel your arms and your shoulders strengthening. Release your knees if they're not already down. Flatten the tops of your feet. Take your hips back towards your heels. Release your belly onto your thighs. And just breathe here, lengthening your spine, relaxing your arms, stretching your shoulders. Leave your hands where they are. I know this next move is quite awkward. If you have shoulder issues, it may be impossible. But do your best. Keep your bum up, upper body low. And when you can, release your chest and your chin. Although I started this practice, I don't know, well over 30 years ago, I'll never forget being asked to do this posture the first time. I thought, what the heck? And then slide everything out from under you. If you're at a runway, please bring your body further up on your mat. Align your fingertips with the edges of your shoulders. Bring your elbows into your side body and press your elbows and forearms towards the floor. Notice the difference, how it draws your shoulder blades down your back and your shoulders away from your ears. Flatten the tops of your feet so they're flat on the mat. Pressing hips and pelvis. Roll an invisible alley with your nose on an inhale without using your hands. Lift your head, neck, shoulders, and chest off the floor. Strengthening all the muscles in the lower back. A little bit of compression on the kidneys and the adrenals. One more breath in. Exhale. Lengthen and lower. Curl your toes under. Press into your palms. Lift your hips. Walk your feet a few inches forward. Bend your knees. Now, send your sits bones towards the back of your mats. This will take some of the pressure out of your upper part of your body, including your wrists and your shoulders. So you're really feeling a good stretch now in the backs of your legs. Heels don't have to be touching the floor. That's not the point. As long as you're feeling the stretch in the back of your knees, your calves, and your Achilles tendon. I think one of the quarterbacks, I don't remember which team, but in the playoffs, their quarterback tore his, I believe, his Achilles tendon. That's it. It's all over for them this year. Lift your left leg up in the air. Tip it over to the other side. Have a look under your right armpit. See your foot. Lift the leg straight up behind you. Now look forward at your left hand and swing that foot as far forward as you can. If it doesn't go very far, remember, drop the opposite knee, pick it up at the ankle. You want to get back to the front of your mat. Bring your back leg forward and let your upper body hang. Give your head a swing. Really relax your neck. There's so much tension coming from our minds into our necks and into our shoulders, and we wonder why our necks and shoulders are stiff or tight. Now, poor posture also plays a part in that stiffness and tightness. Arms beside your ears. Sweep the arms in front. reaching up, feet apart for balance, look up, arc back. It's a beautiful day, blue skies coming our way. Bring your feet back together, lift up out of your waist, hinge from your hips, stretching forward as you fold, let your heads hang. Now bend your knees, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up. Exhale, hands in prayer, and that will do. So we're going to do some movements now for our hips, and we're going to come down into Balasana to start. Child's pose. So we do a modified, I like the modified version for the way it can stretch your spine. You're taking your knees as wide as your mats, and you're lowering your torso between your thighs, your forehead to the floor. Now, if bending your knees is too much, you can always take a cushion, and the one I have right now isn't going to work as well unless I bring my legs together. And then you have the space between your butt and your legs. Or if bending your knees that far is too much, then you're coming into puppy pose. As you can see, my bum's up in the air, my knees and are bent mostly at 90 degrees, forehead on the floor. Find what works for you today. You might have other ideas and thoughts than what I present. Go for it. Where yoga was actually created so that the body would not be uncomfortable and could remain still for a lengthy amount of time. That was the purpose of asanas, of postures. It wasn't to learn how to stand on our heads or hands. It was more about keeping, and of course there are many, many benefits for the asanas. And the benefits are the things that keep our mind quiet because the body is happy, not unhappy. Inhale, come on up. And we're going to take a seated position of Baddha Konasana. So you're bringing the soles of your feet together. Now, if you wish, you can place a cushion underneath your bum or a block. But here's the deal with a cushion. You want to bring yourself to the edge of whatever you're sitting on. You don't want to perch on top of it. You want to try to get to the edge of your cushion so that rather than sitting straight up on your sits bones, you're actually leaning forward on it so that you can keep your back a little bit taller. So we're going to do this two different ways. We're going to do a reclined Baddha Konasana after this. But in this position, you can really feel the muscles in your inner groin and thigh working. If you can take hold of your feet, sitting up tall, and breathing into the muscles that are being stretched. If you close your eyes, you can really feel it. Now, some of us may want to bend forward and use the elbows to do a little pressing, but if sitting up straight is all that you feel is beneficial for you today, stay there. Otherwise, if you feel inclined to bend forward, there are other benefits here. As I said last week, every single bone and joint in your body is covered with connective tissue, all of them, everything. And the connective tissue, in order to relax, because it's inelastic, so it doesn't stretch, but it can relax by holding. So right now I'm saying this because your lower back, your sacrum and your lumbar are covered in this tight connective tissue. So take your legs straight out in front. Probably going to remove your cushion. We'll do our supine. So forward folding. Inhale, lengthen, flex your feet. Now again, you want to feel that your pelvis, if anything, if it's tilting backwards, we lose the integrity of the spine. And if I can communicate this clearly, when we honor the curves of the spine, there's less pressure on the vertebra. When we dishonor those curves by collapsing the lower back when we're seated, and then your entire spine is taking more weight on all the vertebra. It's designed to have those curvatures to reduce the pressure, the load. It's designed that way. That's the way the vertebrae were created. And it's alarming to hear how many people have back issues when truly they could be avoided with good posture. I love the simplicity if we work with what is. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, hands beside your hips with your fingers pointing forward. This is Dandasana, this is staff pose. This may be, you may be feeling this in your quadriceps, you'll be feeling it in your back, in your hips, because we're not used to using our muscles to sit up. We're used to leaning back in chairs. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Lifting up out of your waist, so you're lifting out of the hips. Exhale, forward fold. Just go halfway. Reaching, stretching, lengthening right through your fingertips. One more breath in to stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Now take whatever you have. And some of you may have straps at home, and I don't know if anybody grabbed their straps. You can put them around your ball of your foot. That will keep your feet flexed. And this is a nice stretch for your Achilles tendon. So again, inhale to lengthen. You might even lift till your hearts a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Now, yes, this gets into your hamstrings. They're going to fire. They may even start to feel like they're burning. Breathe into them. So yeah, we're stretching the muscles, but we're getting into the connective tissue. So more focus at the joint than at the muscles of the hip. One more breath in. Reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, even if it's just a thought of lowering your torso a little bit more towards your thighs. That, of course, will fire up your hamstrings a little bit more. And then walk your hands back and take that Dandasana pose again and notice just a couple of minutes how much this relaxes and releases the tension of our junk drawers. Our hips are storages for junk, emotional, mental stresses, what have you. I mean, they're not just that. They can be stressed out from exercise. They can be stressed out from lack of exercise. We're looking for balance. Okay, come on over onto your backs. Bring the soles of your feet together. And this is where we really get into the connective tissue in the groin area, as well as the outside of your hips. So just let your knees splay open. This is where yin yoga really shines, in that your muscles are relaxing, your entire body is relaxed, but you're stretching the entire inner thigh, rotating externally the femur, the long bone in your leg, inside of the hip socket, the acetabulum. So just breathe into this area. Now, you could place your hands, if you wish, on your thighs, on top of your thighs, and just exert a mild amount of pressure, just a small amount of pressure if you wish. Not necessary, just an option. Now, lifting your heart center up and tucking it underneath your shoulder blades can help relax the upper body. Tilting your chin towards the center of your chest stretches and lengthens and relaxes your neck. With your hands on your thighs, if they are, try to place them in a way that allows your elbows to relax on the mat. So we cannot have any impact on our connective tissue by moving quickly. Yin is slow, yang is fast and dynamic and more superficial. Okay, bring your knees together and draw your knees up in towards your chest. One hand on each shin just below the knee, a little rocking from side to side. Maybe make some circles. Just iron out any wrinkles, massaging that lower back area that we've been doing some work on. And we're going to do another excellent stretch, happy baby. Balasana Ananda. Ananda means bliss, means happy. So pulling your knees just outside of your torso and then keeping the knees bent. You're raising the feet so they're right above the knees. Now, again, you may want to use your strap if you can't take hold of either the insteps of your feet, or you could try using your peace fingers to grab your big toes. But best is the instep. Ankle directly over your knees, and your knees are just grazing the outside of your rib cage. Breathe. If you feel inclined, you could do a little bit of rocking from side to side. Many, many benefits in Happy Baby. Not just stretching. In fact, every single yoga posture has multiple benefits, typically a few too many to almost even mention. And now, releasing your happy baby, extend your left leg straight out down in front. With your right hand on the inside of your right knee, your left hand on your left hip flexor or hip bone, You're going to open up your right knee to the right side without letting the left cheek move off the mat. Nice little stretch for the lower abs. And of course, the inner thigh. And now bring that knee back to the center and place your other hand, your left hand, on the outside of your right knee and draw it across your body. Now, if you wish, you can roll over onto your left hip, or you can keep the left buttock flat on the floor. Your choice. Try both, see what the difference is. Keeping a modicum of pressure with your left hand on top, the outside of your right knee. So this is another beautiful release and stretch, an internal rotation of the femur, that big leg bone, inside of the hip socket, the acetabulum. So again, most of the muscles of your body are relaxing because we're trying to release some of the tension and tightness in the connective tissue that covers your entire hip joint. It covers everything in your body, but the joints are where the connective tissue is particularly strong. It's trying to protect in case, but sometimes it can be overprotective if we don't release it, if we don't use it. The use it or lose it expression will always apply when we're a little more sedentary or we don't move the body in a variety of ways. So breathe into that right hip. Inhale, coming back to the center, draw the knee in, draw the other knee up, extend your right leg straight down in front. When you're extending that right leg, you're stretching your hip flexors. These are the tendons, ligaments, muscles in the front of your thigh that we use for stepping in and out of things, cars, tubs. Okay, place your right hand on your right hip or hip flexors. Place your left hand on the inside of your left bent leg. So you're placing it at the knee joint and you're opening the left knee to the left side. So left bent leg to the left side. So after we're done with this, we're going to practice Kapalbhati. It is not just a pranayama. The benefits of Kapalbhati are huge. We'll get into that, but lungs, digestion, your mental state, your immunity. One single breathing exercise. You can do it anywhere, anytime, including driving the car. So again, breathing into your inner thigh, groin area. And then let's inhale, bring the knee to center. And then use your other hand, your right hand, on the outside of your left knee and draw it across your body. If you want, you can extend your left arm out to the side, feeling your hip joints. And again, the muscles, I know I'm repeating myself, but I really want to get this message to you that when we're working our muscles, it's great. It's yang. We want to work our muscles. We want to stretch our muscles. When we stretch our muscles, they put pressure on the bones to thicken and strengthen them. So it's key. Walking over here today, standing up, you're using your muscles. It strengthens the bones. But it's when we relax our muscles, but we stretch the joints, that helps the connective tissue release, relax, and give us more mobility. Having more mobility means we can recover, perhaps from what appears to be a fall or a trip, but you recover. You don't fall, you don't trip. In yoga, we learn a lot of balance. That's also extremely helpful to avoid falling, tripping, or at least recovering before that happens. And that will do. Bring both knees in towards your chest for the last time. Now you can either roll over onto your side, or you can place your hands underneath the backs of your knees and roll up. Or if you want to do a sit-up, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor, you can take your arms over behind your head, engage your torso, inhale and roll up. Okay, this is where you want your cushion. Although if sitting cross-legged is not comfortable, then you can grab a chair here, or if you're at home, grab a chair. But what is super important is that you keep your spine nice and straight. So you're sitting on the edge of your block. Do you want it? Are you comfortable on that? Okay. Now, I did mention meditation. We're not going to meditate, but one of the most fundamental factors in achieving a comfortable seated position is the tilt of your pelvis. So this is why I suggest that you come a little bit forward on whatever you're sitting on. If I'm just perching on top of this, and I'll turn sideways so they can see at home, I can perch on top of this, no problem. Okay, fine. But, you know, I'm collapsed in my lower back. And the other key, so you have a look. If your knees are higher than your hip bone, you're not in a good position. You either need more height or you need to release something you want. Ideally, your hip bone higher than your knees means that you can maintain a really nice long spine and honor all the curves of your spine. So sometimes it takes time to figure out what's going to work. So Kapalbhati is a forceful exhalation and a passive inhalation. And this is why it's coming up for me. So I was working a little bit with the former owner. Well, she's collapsed her studio now. She's working out of her house, the Yoga Sanctuary. She's had a couple of kids. Her belly is as flat as this floor. And I said, so how'd you get that? Honestly, I thought maybe she might have had a tummy tuck. That's how flat it is. And I thought, this is, you know, like completely flat. She said, Joey, Kapalbhati. Well, that got my attention. But Kapalbhati is so much more than that. So we're gonna get started, and then in between the little breaks that we'll have, I will explain. But basically, it is addressing digestion, respiratory, immunity, and your mental well-being. And I will explain that in a moment. So most important, roll your hips forward. If your knees are higher than your hips right now, I would say release your feet out in front, or if sitting Japanese style works with your cushion, do that. You don't want your knees higher than your hip bones, okay? And that applies not just to breathing exercises and meditation. As far as I'm concerned, it applies to sitting in front of your computer, watching TV, whatever it is you're doing. You know, you will be the benefactor of that. So it's all through your nose. If you need a tissue to clean out your nose, please grab one. You're sitting up nice and tall. Your hands can be anywhere that's comfortable. And I will do a quick demo. Just inhale and exhale, inhale. Now I've been taught to exhale about a third, or exhale just a little bit. And then I begin. It's a forceful exhalation. It's a passive inhalation. You're literally forcing the air out of your nose. You're sitting up nice and tall. Relax your shoulders. Just do your best and try this. So inhaling in place and exhale, relax your shoulders, coming forward, rolling on your sits bones forward. Inhale, exhale a little bit and forcefully exhale. And that's about 40. And just breathe normally. And then take a last inhale and hold it in. And then drop your chin towards the center of your chest. And come up from air when you need it and lift your head and just breathe normally. So, Kapalabhati, it means shining skull. And this is what's interesting too. I started doing this practice at least 100 a day. It's no big deal. We just did 40 or 50. It's really no big deal. It sharpens the intellect. It improves concentration. And when I was up at my cabin a few weeks ago, I hunted high and low for my damn snow shovels. I could not find them. I didn't doing this practice. I'm in bed. I see in my mind's eye where the shovels are. Was it Kapalabhati? I don't know. But it improves, you know, your focus, your awareness. It was, to me, it was a bit astonishing. I'm like, there they are. I see them. I know where they are. So I'm going up tomorrow. Thankfully, I'll have them. Okay, so let's try another round. Sitting up as tall as you can. Release your legs if they're uncomfortable. But sitting up as tall as you can, lengthening your spine, reaching through the crown of your head. You know the drill here now. You're inhaling. Normal, exhale. And then inhale. Exhale a little bit and begin. Your belly should be coming in and out, not your shoulders. Now, because we're doing this at different speeds, take a break. You may have done about 60. Again, you can see, just exhale normally, inhaling, exhaling, and then last inhale, fill up, hold it, drop your chin towards the center of your chest, maintain a long spine. Regular practice can help manage high blood pressure. It helps with depression because it boosts endorphins. These are your happy hormones. Endorphins, they also stimulate your immune system. It calms and relaxes your nervous system. Because of the action at the throat, it supports the thyroid. It helps your lymphatic system work more efficiently. It increases your metabolic rate, and it improves your liver and massages your abdominal organs. All that for a few seconds of your day or minutes. So let's just do one more round and then we'll be done. Inhaling in place. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale just a little bit. Make sure it's your stomach that's moving. On the forceful exhalation, you can go as fast as slow as you wish. The more practiced you are, probably the faster you're going to go. So maybe that was a few more this time. Don't know, but if you need to put any clothing on for Shavasana, please be warm. And then when you can, take a little sip of water and bring your body into a full and complete state of relaxation. So you've done some really powerful inner work today. Walking home, getting out and shoveling, that'll be your outer work. But you're now ready for whatever the day holds, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. Coming into Shavasana, flat out and relaxing. Let your feet splay out to the side. Love this quote from Rumi. If you are not irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished? Separating the biting surfaces of the teeth, relax the jaw, relax everything. Let it all go. Letting your body be soft and heavy. Letting your belly gently, softly rise. Be aware if you're holding any tension or stress. It's always been there. You're just not aware. Now that you're aware, you can do something about it. Allow any of your thoughts to be like clouds passing by, disappearing. No big deal. We are not the drama. Our thoughts create the drama. If you're not enjoying the movie that's playing in your head, stop watching it, let it go. Drawing your awareness and your attention to your heart center. Inhaling peace. Exhaling fear. Inhaling peace. Exhaling worry. Inhaling love. And exhale love. Love is the only thing that's real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Get a grip. If you want the peace and the joy, you've got it. It's always been in there. It's never been anywhere else. Go inside. In the stillness is the silence, and in the silence is the peace. Inhaling long, full, and deep. And deep exhaling. Long, full, deep inhaling. And letting everything go. Inhale, stretch your arms over behind your heads. Reach and stretch, point feet far. Flex and point. And drop your arms back down. Take your time to roll over onto your side. Bending your knees. Use your top arm to press yourself back up into a seated position. I am grateful for the sunshine today. I am grateful for your presence, your gift of attention and caring for yourselves. Because the more happy and peaceful people there are in the world, the happier and more peaceful this world will be. We're part of it. Be the peace you want to see. Namaste.